Hello everybody. Finally updating on everything that's been going on. My last update, I was 10 weeks and 4 days, and I'm now, what is today? Tuesday. I'm 12 weeks and 1 day. A lot has happened since my last update. On top of everything, like trying to get ready for Christmas and being really busy with Christmas, and Derek starting 2 jobs and everything like that. During my last appointment, my last regular OB appointment, I remember that's when the pain in my legs started. I had in my right leg. It just felt like when you have a cramp, how it feels after the cramp. It's just kind of sore and tender. But I didn't have a cramp at all. And I was going to mention it to the doctor, but then I thought about it, and I'm like, well, after I know everything that I know now, I thought about it, and I'm like, well, what would they have really done? You know, she would have just copped it up to maybe fluids or swelling or something. So, I've been in pain for a couple of weeks before I couldn't take the pain anymore. It was unbearable. I couldn't sleep. It was Wednesday night, Thursday morning, the 16th. I was tossing and turning all night long. I could not find a position that would ease the pain at all. So it was probably around 3 or 4 a.m. I figured I'm going to the hospital, but I'll let Derek and Allison sleep. I didn't want to take an ambulance or anything. I get really nauseous in an ambulance. But I woke them up at like 7 and I broke down. I was just crying and I couldn't take the pain anymore. I could barely walk. I didn't even dress myself. I didn't bring anything to the hospital with me. I didn't think I was going to be admitted or anything. So Allison and Derek dropped me off at just our closest hospital. And excuse me, I get there and, excuse me, they take blood, they put an IV in. I had some red blotches on my legs at the time, so they went and did it wasn't called an ultrasound. It wasn't called a sonogram, but I can't think of what exactly it was called, but it was basically like a sonogram of my leg. Hi, honey. They started off at the top of my leg, by my groin, to check out the blood flow there. Hi, honey. And they went clear to the bottom of my leg. And then she got to behind my knee, and she was spending a lot of time there. And that's where all of my, like, most of my pain was radiating from. Oh, I love you too, honey. So she gets done, and she looks at me, and she was the sweetest lady, and she said, okay, I'm 99.9% sure you have a blood clot, but I'm going to go get my assistant and see what she thinks. So she goes and gets the other lady, and the second she walked out the door, I just broke down and started crying. It probably would have been worse if I had somebody with me. It would have been worse if I had Derek or somebody with me. I would have cried worse, but I just was so scared. Everything that I've ever seen or heard about blood clots is they go to your heart, they go to your brain, they instantly kill you, they kill you in your sleep. Scary, scary, scary stuff. So her and the lady come back in, and I'm crying, and they're comforting me, and they were just so sweet. So the other lady takes a look, and for sure I have a blood clot behind my right knee. So let me see. They then take me back to my room and told me that I was being transferred to my regular hospital where I go for my OB appointments, and it's a wonderful hospital. It's just a woman's hospital. So ambulance ride there Thursday around noon. I got to the hospital around like 7 a.m. They were very busy that morning. So I get to the hospital. I get up to my room. I had already had a room. I was admitted before I even got to the hospital. I get up there, I see a couple nurses, a couple of doctors, and when one of the doctors left, I sat up and ran to the bathroom, and I got so sick. I don't know if it was nerves or if it was the ambulance ride, combination of like all of it, but I had my face bloodshot. I had little broken blood vessels everywhere, and I even like had like one like in my eye, but you couldn't see it unless you like pulled my eye down. And I had thrown up so violently that I was bleeding down there, but I wasn't afraid of that. I didn't think it was anything to do with baby. It was because of how violently I was sick. But that's fine. Now that's all fine. They did test on everything like that, and everything's great. So I see a couple of doctors, and then they figure out that they're gonna put me on a medicine called Lovenox. And at first I was told that I had to do 2 shots a day.
Yep.
What? I see. But then they had to adjust the dose to my weight and everything, and I have to do 4 shots a day. 2 in the morning, and then 12 hours later. Pictures. Those are pictures of the baby, huh? 2 in the morning, 12 hours later, do 2 at night. And I do them mostly in my leg. But I was told that I can do it in my stomach, and I'm going to try in my stomach and see how it goes. I'm a little nervous about it, though. Okay, so then I stayed one night in the hospital, and I came home Friday afternoon sometime. And my mother was here all this time taking care of Allison. She was awesome. It was awesome because Derek had to work. He just started this job, or he would have been there with me. But sometimes I'm better off doing stuff like that on my own, or I would be a big baby and just crying the whole time. The only time I cried this entire time was right when I found out it was a blood clot. I can't sit around and mope about it. That's just going to make it worse. So I got to go home on Friday the 17th, and they sent a nurse. I think it was that evening. No, the next morning, Saturday morning. I'm gonna have a nurse come twice a week to do my vitals, answer any questions, just do a quick exam of my leg, make sure everything's okay. So that was Saturday morning, and the first night I came home, it took me an hour to do my shots. Because they had told me, pinch your skin, stab it in, push the stuff in real quick, and when I did that, it was very painful. And it took an hour to get the, it's like my arm was paralyzed. It would not listen to what my brain wanted it to do. And then when I would get so close and I'd count to 3, I'd get to 3 and my arm would just freeze. But I'm a pro now. Just bing, bang, boom, I'm done. But my nurse taught me a good way to do it. Just pinch the skin, put the needle on the skin, slowly push the needle in, and you don't even feel it at all. I'm so glad she told me to do it that way, because I would still be taking an hour to do my shots. Okay, so that brings us up to yesterday. Yesterday was Monday. I had oh, a donkey! I had follow-up appointment for that for the hospital stay, and blood work. They had to do blood work 4 days after I started the medication to see if the dosage is right, and I still haven't gotten the results back from that to see if they'll change, if I need less or more, or if it's just right. But the follow-up appointment was fine. My doctor just told me some things that were going to go on in the pregnancy. Medicine is 100% safe for the baby. They will be changing the medication around 36 weeks when I'm full term, just in case I go into labor. It's a more safe medication. It's easier to control in this one. This one's can last long term, like stay in my system longer. But the one they're going to change me to won't stay in as long. So that if I do go into labor, it will be out of my system, so there won't be a ton of bleeding. Because the medicine I'm on, it's a, I don't know, I didn't want to show you guys my needle, or the needles, I just think it's kind of icky to see, but, it's not a blood thinner, but it's like an anticoagulant. It stops my blood from clotting. So I'll just bleed just a little bit longer, but, if I were to be in like a bad car accident or something, I've had the worst nightmares. But anyways, she told me that I will most likely be induced around 39 weeks, she said, just so that they have control over the date when my medication was last given. If they do that, I'll be able to have a, oh gosh, I can't think right now, epidural, if I need one. Just so the baby probably won't be born in July. The baby probably will be born more around its original due date of June 22nd or so. Probably a little later than that, but, and then today we had my 2-hour glucose test. So more blood drawn today, and I had an ultrasound. And, the 2-hour glucose was a bother, but it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. I had to fast all night long, be in there at 9 a.m. They had to take blood first, then I had to drink the stuff, come back at 10, have blood drawn, come back at 11, have blood drawn. But it wasn't that bad. It was only 1 tube each time, so it wasn't that bad, and I have a really good vein for it. So in between all of that, we had the ultrasound, and it was awesome. It was awesome to see the baby at 12 weeks and 1 day. I got just 2 pictures. In the one picture, it looks like the baby's going, oh, like, oh. I don't know the Italian word that goes along with it, but so cute. And he or she was jumping and wiggling, and arms and legs were moving all around, and they showed us, the baby's legs were crossed over. And it looked just like Allison's. The right leg over the left leg, and it just looked, it was like a flashback. It looked exactly like how Allison did. But I'll see if the lighting is good enough to show you this one picture. See, look. It's so cute. I can't stand it. Like, if you see ultrasounds a lot, or pictures a lot, you know what's what in this picture. But I'll try to set it to where I can, in the good lighting. This is baby's head. Spine's right here, bum's down here. This is the little nose and the mouth. It looks like the hand is. It's so cute. And that's just a heartbeat one. But compared to, let me see, the ones a couple of weeks ago, this was baby a couple of weeks ago. Right here. Little bean, big bean. It's so amazing. But we snuck the camera in there, and if, like, we didn't have it zoomed in, so it's like far away, but I don't know, maybe I can squeeze some of that in here if I can figure out how to with the new flip. I don't know anything about editing, but I think that's pretty much up to date on everything. I haven't gained any weight. Well, I gained a ½ pound. But that's you, honey. From my last appointment to this one. Well, not even a whole appointment. It was a ½ a month because my hospital visit. But my next appointment, my next regular OB appointment is on January 4th. But I think I'm pretty much done with going to hospitals and being poked for now. I think they're pretty much done with me. I just got to do my shots every day and see the nurse twice a week. And you want to say hi? Okay, but this video is probably getting really long. I probably talked really fast through the whole thing. I'm really sorry, but I'm trying to squeeze everything in, and I'm going to get back on regular weekly updates. I'll try to do them like Monday or Tuesday. I love you too, honey. She's kissing me. She kisses my bruises on my legs. I love you. Okay, everybody. Bye.